Hello, Ellie. I've got you there as already being in the meeting. Can't see you. If you are able to signal that you can hear us okay. Okay. Ha- Yes, you can. Brilliant. Thank you, Ellie. We've got half a dozen or so people who are meant to be coming, but as with all these things, people drop out at the last minute. So Mike, if we just kick off with some introductions. If I, oh, and here comes Gary. So I'm Beverly, also known as the Data Protection Lady. Um, I've worked in the data protection environment for scarily around 23 years now, and around 13 of those years have been in the charity sector. So I set my little business up last year. After, in theory, I retired from working at one of the country's biggest homelessness charities for a number of years. Ellie, is that your hand up or just saying, have you got a question already or
It's just from earlier,
no?
Beverly.
Right, okay. Okay, so that's a tiny little bit about me. I've forgotten what I was going to say next anyway. So Mike, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yep. Hello, everybody. My name's Mike Roberts, and most people know me as Making Digital Real. So I help people with things like podcasts, LinkedIn, digital marketing, creating social media reels. But I do have quite an extensive experience in the email security and registered email sector. So thank you so much for inviting me on today. Really appreciated.
No, you're welcome, Mike. It's always good to get experts in other parts of the security industry. So today's session is around secure email, and I want to kind of open because I've worked in charities, for charities, with charities for so many years, and the biggest cause of data breaches, in my experience, is emails going to the wrong person or the wrong content. And so I'd like to explore, to start with, Mike, what emails need to be sent securely. What's the difference between sending something just ordinary? What do you need to send? What do you need to think about if you're going to need to send something securely?
Great question. And I suppose the way I'd answer that is, first of all, emails were never ever designed to be secure. Since day one, emails have always been sending family photos, saying hi to Uncle Fred and all of that around the world, and things have never changed in terms of security on emails. Fast forward to today, people are sending things like bank statements, driving license copies, they're applying for mortgages, responding to their accountants via email. And whilst people may think that technology's moved on, those emails are still flying around the internet from server to server like a postcard written in pencil. And unless you have something in place to make sure that those emails are secure and encrypted as they travel and whiz around the internet, I promise you, sooner or later they will get cherry picked by the scammers out there, and it's not going to be good. And the other thing I would say is email encryption doesn't need to be difficult. It doesn't need to be expensive or complicated. There's so many great solutions out there. And hopefully today's little live will give people the confidence to think, actually, maybe I could secure my emails. It doesn't look scary whatsoever.
That's really interesting when you say when emails were originally designed, because if you're working in the charity sector, if you think like when I've worked at homelessness charities, children's charities, you can have some really sensitive information that you're sharing between the charity and another charity, or a charity and a local authority, or even a charity and the police. And if you send it to the wrong person, or there's really uber sensitive information in that, you're right that there's a huge risk there. So if you want to send something secure, I mean, a lot of people use Outlook. So surely if they're using Outlook, has that got something already built into it? Is that safe?
Well, I won't go into too much jargon or IT on this call because that's not what this is about. But there is something called TLS encryption, and as standard, Outlook has a TLS at the source of when you're sending an email. But as soon as it leaves your computer and starts traveling across the internet, those servers will not support or could not support the TLS as it travels around the world from server to server. So if people think that just because they're using Gmail or Outlook or they've got a business email address, therefore it's secure, unfortunately, definitely not. It doesn't matter what you're using. If you don't have encryption in place, that email is not secure.
Wow. And I'm sure I know I've worked in big charities where they just use Outlook and there's no dedicated encryption on that email at all. That's amazing. So if the original platform like Outlook don't provide anything, do people need special software?
Well, it's not necessarily special software, but there are extremely useful and cost-effective plugins that you can now download and purchase. I'm going to give you a live demonstration of one in particular. This is one that I've worked with in the past that I think is absolutely fantastic. So if it's okay with you, I'll share my screen and just show you this in 2 minutes, how it works and how easy it is. Is that okay?
Oh, that would be brilliant. Yeah.
Perfect. So let me just share screen, and please do let me know if you can see this okay.
It's coming up.
Yeah, perfect.
A little small at the moment.
How's that?
Yep, that's bigger. Yes.
Great. So let me just guide you through what you're seeing. So I'm in Outlook. I'm creating an email to Sarah, and this looks exactly the same as most emails in Outlook. The only difference is I'm using this magic red button that brings up a pop-up box. And now what I'm doing is I'm not only sending the email secure, but I'm sending the email registered. So I've got proof that it was delivered and opened. And then I press send. Easy.
Oh, blimey.
Now,
So is that like when you say send it registered, is that like if it was hard copy post, you're sending a registered email that's registered letter that's signed for or something?
absolutely. It's like going to the post office in a digital world.
Wow.
Yeah. The other question I get asked a lot is, what about on the recipient's end?
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah, brilliant. So let me just show you. So this is what happens on the recipient's end. They open your email and the email is presented to them like a normal message. They don't have to click on any links. They don't have to go through any magic portals. It's just very easy for the sender and the recipient. And the email states that this is a registered encrypted email. So your recipient knows that they've taken your data seriously. And as a bonus feature, one of the other reasons I love this product so much is because inside that banner, it has the ability to give the recipient the ability to reply. And this is what the receipt looks like. So I can see where the email was sent, when it was delivered, when it was opened, and proof that it was sent securely in all of this very complicated looking delivery audit trail.
Right. So it really is like when you send something signed for delivery in the hard copy post, you can actually look up and see when it's delivered, who's received it. That's amazing.
Absolutely. And what I also like about it is it also includes the ability to send a document for an electronic signature, like the Adobe and DocuSign type products. So it does that as well.
Wow. And it would. So it's one product and it's doing at least two functions within it. So it saves you having multiple platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a product that I used to provide to clients for many, many years. So when anyone ever mentions to me about email encryption, if you've got something simple, if you've got something that doesn't need you to leave your existing mail platform, and it's also easy for the recipient, then there's no difference to your daily routine whatsoever. The only difference is you're now GDPR compliant with emails, and your emails are going to get replied to faster, because when they see that banner that says that it's registered and encrypted, it looks like an important email, and most people are going to reply to important looking emails.
Well, that's true. So I don't know if you know the answer to this, because think, especially with smaller charities, the thing they worry about is how easy are these sort of things to integrate into their existing email platform?
Well, what I would say is, as long as you can, so if, for instance, if you're using Outlook or Gmail, all it takes is going to our website, downloading the plugin, closing Outlook and reopening it, and the red button's there. And as long as you've subscribed to a certain number of credits per month, it will just work. It's just so
Wow.
easy.
That is really easy. And again, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but if, say, an organisation is working with a local authority, do things like Mimecraft or anything sort of block these because they, as you know, because they're scanning for malicious emails or phishing emails?
Yeah, so there's Mimecast, there's Egress, there's all sorts of solutions out there that do different things. When it comes to this particular product supplied by a company called Frama, Frama, there are some functions in there that state that if an email comes into your inbox and you reply to it, it will actually scan that email and tell you, hang on a moment, if you're going to reply to this email, which it looks like you're about to do, chances are it's going to a fraudulent person. We don't think it's actually going to who you think it is. So we are helping people with their incoming email as well.
Wow. I mean, again, certainly I've been working with a couple of charities lately, and both of them have seen an uptick in the number of phishing emails they're getting, you know, sort of from the CEO, can you give me your WhatsApp number? I've got an urgent task for you, you know, a typical phishing email. So, and that particular organisation has got Minecraft running on it, and it's not picking them up. So that's really interesting that it can actually do that function as well. I know there's not many of us, there should have been more today, but Ellie or Gary, have you, as there's only the few of us, are there any questions you'd like to ask about the platform at all? Just do a thumbs up if there is. No? Oh, yeah, Gary's got one. Gary, you should be able to speak now, I think.
Yes, I can. Yes.
Ah.
No, thank you. That's fascinating. I mean, I suppose it's just that it almost seems too good to be true, which, you know, being brought up, if it's too good to be true, surely you can't trust it. I mean, really cynical. So how do we convince our colleagues that this is actually, you know, it is what it is? It's so good.
Great question. And I think the answer to that lies in that magical registered receipt. So if I'm sending you an encrypted registered email and I get my receipt back, proof of encryption is in that receipt. So if there is a court in the UK, for example, that needs proof that that email was encrypted, it's all inside that receipt, and it tells you exactly what TLS was used, which servers it went through, everything you need to know.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Right, Ellie and Gary, if you've got no further questions, then this has been short and sweet, but it was always intended to be. I'm sorry everybody else didn't turn up. That's quite a big dropout number, but hey, you know, that's how these things go. So thank you very much for coming. If you're interested, I will share the video with everybody once we've uploaded the recording, so you can go back and have another look at it and share the video with your colleagues if they're interested in it as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Beverly. Really appreciate you inviting me on.
You're welcome. Thanks, Mike, and thank you for attending, folks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm just figuring out how to stop the recording. Oh, it stopped. No, it hasn't. Right, I can't seem to stop the recording without leaving the meeting. So
Okay,
I'm
I'll
sorry,
speak to you soon.
Okay, speak to you soon. Bye.